Hello and welcome back to another episode of Generation Films. My name is American Ben and today we're going to list the top 7 stealth kills in film. Everyone here who's played video games knows that there's two ways to go about some good old assassinating. There's the guns blazing method for those of you out there with ADHD, and then there's the quiet kill, that is, getting the job done without leaving a trace, which takes much more patience and skill, and is probably a touch more ethical given that less enemies need to be permanently incapacitated on the way to the main target. While I personally love attempting a stealth-based strategy with friends in Far Cry or other shooters, honestly, I usually end up busting right through the front door shotgun in hand. What can I say? I just have that je ne sais quoi. I suppose we might call it Leroy Jenkins syndrome, which causes me, when undertaking team-based missions, to have a sudden urge to cause chaos and ruin everything for everyone. That said, given my penchant for front door assaults and lack of focus, I'm always impressed by those killer ninjas among us, the assassins, whose murdership is an unwitnessed art, least of all by their victims, who usually never see the bullet coming. Here's our list of the top 7 stealth kills in film. In 7th place, we have John Rambo's camouflage kill in Rambo 2. The events in the film take place 3 years after the first and see the eponymous Rambo journey to Vietnam in order to rescue some American POWs who were left behind following the conclusion of the Vietnam War. Of course, things go awry and Rambo ends up having to become a one-man army against the Vietnamese and, to his surprise, Soviet troops as well, holding the American soldiers in squalid conditions. Now, this movie is more known for overkills than it is for stealthy kills, but that doesn't mean that Rambo doesn't know how to blend into his surroundings and offer a quiet takedown when necessary. At one point in the film, he actually disguises himself as mud, something unknown to the audience as well until we see but a single eye appear in the wall of sludge behind an unsuspecting soldier who is so shocked when attacked that he fails to let out a single peep. This dude couldn't catch a break. If he just let out a few squeals, he'd have gotten his SAG card and union pay. Now he's just dirty and definitely not going to be in any sequels. In 6th place, we have Koenig's impossible shot in Enemy at the Gates, a film filled with stealthy maneuvers of all sorts. The movie is set during World War II and tells the story of a cat-and-mouse game between two snipers during the Battle of Stalingrad. The protagonist is Vasily Zaitsev, a Soviet sniper and national hero for the nightmare he's become to the Germans. On the other side is Major Erwin Koenig, a legendary marksman who is sent to Stalingrad to take down Zaitsev. The Russians are actually not the bad guys for once in this film, though, of course, as is true for any action movie made between the 1980s and 2000s, none of the Russian characters are Russian. Well, at least when it comes to main characters, that is. But do we really even need Russian actors to play Russians when we have the type of stupefyingly accurate performance that Harrison Ford put on in K-19 The Widowmaker?
I have been given the honor to be your captain. Without me, you're nothing.
That accent is a flawless victory. But I digress. When the Soviets become aware of Koenig's presence in Stalingrad, they send Koenig's former protege Kulikov to assist Zaitsev in taking down the German sniper. During one scene, Zaitsev and Kulikov are navigating the innards of a crumbling building while trying to avoid Koenig's line of sight. When they come upon a part of the hallway that's exposed to the outside world thanks to a blown-out wall, the two men ready themselves to quickly jump the gap. Kulikov volunteers to go first and takes a leap. But while in the air, for the split second he's in transit and vulnerable to fire from the ground below, Koenig takes him out with a perfect snipe. No doubt some level of anticipation was required on Koenig's part in order to execute this skill successfully. To be fair, Zaitsev got across, so it would have been more impressive if he took both out with a ricochet or something. In 5th place, we have James Bond's elaborate stealth takedown in Skyfall. During the film, at M's order, Bond tracks a mercenary, Patrice, to Shanghai with the aim of retrieving a hard drive he stole, gaining information about his employer, and killing him. Bond follows Patrice into a skyscraper, stealthily. And then, you know when you're running to catch an elevator and just make it at the last second, but doing so causes the doors to open back up just as they were almost shut, and you thus inconvenience everyone else on the elevator when you could have just waited a couple minutes for the next one? Well, Bond offers us a fair compromise here by simply jumping onto the bottom of the elevator and riding it up to the top floor. He doesn't miss the lift, and the person aboard, Patrice, doesn't run late, which actually probably helps the mercenary successfully kill his target. Still, stealth is a bit of a dance. It's more artful than open violence, and no scene proves this more than the one in question as Bond works his way up the high-rise with a bit of grit and a bit of grace, and quietly takes down Patrice in a waltz of shadows. Well, actually I suppose it's gravity that takes Patrice down, but Bond didn't help the situation. In fourth place, we have The Hunters Become the Hunted in the 2003 film The Hunted. The movie tells the story of a former United States Delta Force operator named Aaron Hallam, who, suffering from PTSD thanks to harrowing events he experiences during his service in the Kosovo War, retreats into the wilderness where he terrorizes those unfortunate souls who happen across his path. In response, the FBI approaches L.T. Bonham, a former civilian instructor of military survival and combat training, and ask him to help them track down Hallam, his former student. Bonham agrees, and the two men pit their skills against one another in a battle of stealth and wits. At one point near the beginning of the film, two hunters armed with rifles find themselves being tracked by Hallam in the woods. Hallam turns the men from predator to prey as his mastery of the woods is too great to overcome. He becomes a ghost, similar to the Predator in the famous sci-fi film of the same name, using a mixture of fear and traps to break the hunters and kill them. In third place, we have Dennis Nedry's death in Jurassic Park. And no, I'm not kidding, the Dilophosaurus displays exceptional stealth tactics in taking out the helpless computer programmer. In the film, Jurassic Park, located on an island off the Costa Rican coast, is a theme park filled with clone dinosaurs that promotes itself as a family-friendly getaway. However, after a park staff member is killed by a velociraptor, a group of dinosaur experts are brought in to certify the park's safety. However, when the disgruntled Nedry deactivates the park's security systems during an attempt to steal and sell fertilized dinosaur embryos, the dinosaurs are set loose, and the experts must survive and escape while lost amidst the prehistoric beasts. Nedry himself doesn't make it out, as while trying to transport the embryos to the island's docks, he becomes lost in the rain and is confronted by a Dilophosaurus. The dinosaur seemingly plays nice with Nedry at first, though perhaps it was just examining him as any animal might a new creature before weighing its decision to kill him or not. Nedry struggles to get away from the dinosaur, but eventually makes it up a hill and back inside his Jeep, apparently safe and sound, minus some burning eyes and skin thanks to a few hawks of venom from the unruly creature. However, surprise, the Dilophosaurus has snuck into the Jeep, unseen by Nedry, though to be fair, again, venom in the eyes, and kills the poor man. The Dilophosaurus' plan is rather clever. It forces its prey to trap itself in a confined space where it would be easy to attack and overcome. In second place, we have Batman taking out Falcone's thugs in Batman Begins. While most movie lovers laud the follow-up film The Dark Knight as the best Batman film due to its popularity, memorable villain, and blockbuster qualities, my favorite Batman movie is Nolan's first entry in the series. Why? Well, it's the only Batman film to really incorporate Batman's ninja skills into its story, and doesn't just incorporate them, but works them in a believable way. The League of Shadows, as portrayed by Nolan, is legitimately cool. The scene in the container shipyard, during which Batman takes out Falcone's men, introduces us to a darker Batman, a scarier Batman. As he systematically eliminates the thugs from beyond the shadows, we feel as if we're watching innocent victims run from a deranged killer in a horror movie. But nay, it's Batman, and it feels exactly as Batman should feel. It's the story of a Dark Knight. To be fair, the film The Dark Knight's Hong Kong scene is kind of cool, but I'm not sure we can call it a stealth scene because Batman is only stealthy until he busts through a window and proceeds to take down his enemies in rather lively fashion. Finally, in first place, we have Leon's opening salvo in Leon the Professional. For those of you who don't know, the film tells the story of a hitman named Leon, basically Jacques from Onimusha 3, some of you will get that, who takes a little girl, Matilda, into his care after her entire family is murdered by corrupt DEA agents. The two develop a friendship as Leon keeps Matilda out of harm's way and becomes a positive role model for her, teaching her a trade. You know, killing. However, the scene we are speaking about today comes sans Matilda when Leon enters an apartment building to eliminate some marks he's been hired to kill. Leon, being the professional that he is, knows his surroundings to a T and kills the surly gangsters in a variety of ways, though each while alone and with adept stealth tactics. I suppose one of the tricks to being good at stealth is mastering one's environment while playing an away game, that is, while invading someone else's house, a situation during which one's target should have the advantage. Leon, however, is the best of the best, and so it's impossible to see him coming. Anyways, that's our list of the top stealth kills in films. This was a hard list to come up with off the top of my head, so I'll be looking forward to seeing your comments on what I missed down below. If you liked the video, please do give it a big thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. For now, my name is American Ben. I'll catch you next time. Generation Films, peace.